Hi guys, this is Nick with Daimaho Games, and today I'm going to show you a tool I'm working on for game creator called Reactive Gesture Timeline. So this tool allows you to synchronize animation with different actions that you can trigger in real time. So without further ado, let us have a demonstration of what this is. First, let us create a new reactive gesture. So you can see that upon creation or upon selecting this file, you have a mannequin that is created for you in the middle of the screen as well as in the animation preview window. This guy is there only to preview the animation you're working on, and it's not going to be saved with your scene. Anyway, the gesture timeline is gonna come with a special scene that has everything set up in a nice way to be able to work with your animation in a most easy way. Okay, so what do you do with this? You're going to first have to select an animation clip, and here you can see that there's a bunch of different parameters that allows you to directly define the transition for this animation. So you only have to do it once if you use this animation with different characters. Then on the bottom here you can see there is instruction that you can add to your animation. For example, instantiate a game object. It's essentially the same thing as game creator actions, except that it comes with a special slider that when you drag, if it's not in play mode, when you drag it, you can see a preview of the animation in real time. And what it does essentially is that when this animation is being played and it reaches this threshold that you've set with the slider, then this instruction is going to be executed. This allows you to synchronize this animation with different things like sound effects, visual effects, and whatnot. To showcase this tool, I'm going to show you a little use case, and we're going to customize this animation together with a little bit of effects. First, let us create a dark curse effect. So because it's a visual effect, we're going to pull it. Okay, you can see here in location there's a new way to define a location, which is the character bone. With this you can directly define where on the character we want this animation, this game object to be spawned. Here, because my animation is essentially using his left hand to cast a spell, I'm going to spawn this dark curse on this left hand. I'm also going to parent it to this same left hand. Okay, now if you enter play mode, you can see that this play preview button has been enabled, and you can preview this animation, which is going to trigger in turn all the specified instruction in real time. So you can adjust very easily the timing of your effects. Okay, so let us go a step further by adding a few other effects. For example, this mini explosion of shadow, also pulled. We're also going to trigger it on the left hand, but this time we want it to stay where it's spawned, so we don't have a parent. And we're going to spawn it at about this time. I think it's gonna look good. Then let us add yet another effect. This time a purple explosion. Okay, also pulled. This time around we're going to spawn it from the character itself with an offset. So we're gonna use self because this is the caster, and yeah, like 2 in Z should be alright. And probably this is the explosion, maybe around this time. We'll see what it looks like. Finally, I want to add a aura when it starts casting because it looks cool. So we need to pull it too, and also start from the character with an offset, but this time an offset in Y. Okay, let us preview what it looks like now. Yeah, pretty cool. Again, if you're not happy with a particular timing, you can easily adjust it and pre-visualize it again in real time. Yeah, I think it looks better like that. Alright, now let us add some sound effect to make it pop. For example, a medium cast sound effect. I believe this one has a small wind up to the sound, so we'll start it fairly early over here. Then I'm gonna add another small impact around this time. And finally, I'm gonna add a large impact when the explosion happens about this time. By the way, you can see that all the instructions have a nice name, so you can easily understand what it does, and it also has a percentage which represents the timing at which it's being executed. So let us visualize that again. Yeah, pretty cool. Maybe I could have this a little bit earlier. Yeah, it looks kind of nice. So we can see that in no time at all we've been creating an animation with 7 synchronized effects, which all looks good and at the proper time. We can add more and it's gonna be as easy. Besides sound effect and visual effects, you can also add regular instructions that are going to be triggered at a specific time. There is a caveat though, because maybe it doesn't make sense with all the instructions to trigger them from an animation. I have in mind, for example, if you are triggering a new animation, and if it happens to be exactly the same, then you'll end up with an infinite loop, which is not necessarily what you want, and that might cause problem. But if you stay quite reasonable, it's more power to you. Lastly, I wanted to touch on another topic. For example, if you want to create not a combo system, a melee system, which triggers for example in a game like Dark Souls, when the character starts its attack, at some point during the animation its weapon collider is going to be enabled, and with this you can easily decide exactly the period during which the collider is going to be enabled. This is pretty powerful approach, and yeah, because all of it is driven by the animation. If for some reason the animation gets cancelled, of course any instruction that has not been called yet is not going to be triggered, which is something you want, except for those special cases with two values. Like this is essentially a state during which when the animation is within these two values, then something happens. When the animation gets cancelled in the middle, then the end effect is always going to be called no matter what. This is to prevent some unwanted effects, like for example the collider gets activated, then the animation gets cancelled, and the collider stays activated forever. That's not what we want. So maybe in the future I'm gonna add an option where you can do that or not, if you have different use case. I don't know. Okay, so you can see that this tool has a lot of potential. Thank you for watching until now, and I'm looking forward for any feedback that you may have, and yeah, I hope that you liked it. This was Nick. with Dynamo Games signing out.